Hi, I'm Emily Watkins, and this is the WBFO Disabilities Beat. This week, I want to ask you, the listener, how many disabled characters did you see in cartoons when you were a kid? Or the last time you watched TV with a child in your life? The reality is, not many shows have disabled characters. According to the Geena Davis Institute, in 2023, representation of disabled characters in children's programming was actually down from 2022. There were no disabled leads in popular children's programming, and across new programming, only 0.8% of leads were disabled in 2023. But this month, PBS Kids released a new show that stood out for being different from the trends. Here's Beth Frankowiak, the Director of Learning and Engagement at Buffalo Toronto Public Media, which operates both WBFO and WNED PBS.
So Carl the Collector is the brand new PBS Kids series that features a warm-hearted raccoon who is on the autism spectrum, and it's actually PBS Kids' first series with the central character on the autism spectrum. And the target age group for that is kids 4 to 8. And Carl just has a whole lot of fun with all of his friends who also have different degrees of disabilities.
And Carl the Collector doesn't just feature neurodivergent characters.
They have writers who are neurodivergent. Also, the little boy who voices Carl the Collector is on the autism spectrum. So it's just a really special production overall.
Earlier this month, WNED PBS held a local premiere of the show and invited kids from around the area to showcase their collections. I sat down with a few of the collectors to get their thoughts. One of them is 8-year-old Lawson, who chatted with me while flipping through his Pokemon collection. You saw Carl the Collector as one of the first kids in Western New York to see it. What did you think of that show?
I thought it was very, very, very funny.
What was funny about it?
When they put all the toys on the ceiling and then they immediately all came toppling down on their heads. And then when they put all the toys under the bed and then they sat on the bed and then all the toys went in the pile and right next to the bed.
Oh, wow. So collecting can be like kind of messy and silly sometimes.
Yeah. Which, before I had this binder, Pokemons were taking up over the back room. There's like Pokemon cards everywhere. There's like stacks of them all on the wall.
Do you feel like you can relate to Carl and his friends?
Yes.
What's relatable about them?
I have ADHD and autism. And they have ADHD and autism.
Is that the first time you've seen someone with ADHD and autism in a TV show like that?
Yes.
And Lawson's parent, Lauren, also said the scenarios in the show were meaningful to her.
We loved it. We were very excited. I think a lot of times, especially when I was younger, maybe characters were coded as neurodivergent, and it was normally played off as a laugh, or it was something to kind of tease or joke about. And so as a neurodiverse family, it was wonderful to see that Carl and his friends were not only just coded as neurodivergent, but it was outspoken that they were neurodivergent. And I really especially loved, there was a scene where Carl lost some of his bouncy balls. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of his friends, nobody belittled him for losing them. Nobody said it was, not a big deal. It's just a bouncy ball. We can find it again. Instead, they said something along the lines of, if it's important to you, it's important to me, let's find these bouncy balls. And that's just such a great way to talk to someone who has a collection or an interest or is neurodivergent, by affirming their interest and their collection and making it just as important to us as it is to the collector.
If you want to check out Carl the Collector, you can watch anytime at pbskids.org. on YouTube or on WNED PBS from your TV. There will also be a Carl the Collector marathon on WNED PBS from 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Friday, November 29th. We also have more interviews with our local kid collectors on YouTube and Instagram. You can listen to the Disabilities Beat segment on demand, view a transcript and plain language description for every episode on our website at wbfo.org. I'm Emily Watkins. Thanks for listening.